In the worlds before Monkey, primal chaos reigned. Heaven sought order, but the phoenix can only fly when its feathers are grown. The four worlds formed again and yet again, as endless eons wheeled and passed. Time and the pure essence of heaven, the moisture of earth, the powers of the sun and the moon, all worked upon a certain rock old as creation, and it magically became fertile. That first egg was named Thought. Tathagata Buddha, the Father Buddha, said, "With our thoughts, we make the world." Elemental forces caused the egg to hatch. From it, then came the powerful creature we know as Sun Wukong.
Certainty is only another delusion.
Today's the day, people. We continue our January to the West. Man, I'm backlogged, okay? Anyway, it's time to take a look at the story of Sun Wukong. As I mentioned before, Sun Wukong was born from a stone egg that was created at the dawn of time, and after emerging from his rock, Monkey traveled down the mountain, met a whole tribe of other monkeys, and quickly became their king. This is why Sun Wukong is known as the Monkey King. He was also super vain, so he ordered that everyone call him the Handsome Monkey King. After ruling the mountain of flowers and fruit for a few hundred years, it dawns on Monkey that one day he might die. He decides to leave his home in search of a Taoist monk who can teach him the secret to immortality. He encounters the supreme immortal Subodhi, who eventually agrees to teach him and gives him the name Sun Wukong. Subodhi teaches Wukong various magical skills, including his famous 72 methods of transformation, cloud jumping, martial arts, and a method of internal breathing said to grant immortality. After being exiled from the school for his inability to be humble, he returned back to his mountain, but found it was taken over by demons. He managed to defeat the demons, but decided that he needed a stronger weapon. He traveled under the ocean, and was able to procure his iconic As You Wish gold-banded cudgel, a staff that was super heavy, and had the power to grow and shrink at will. Okay, extra credit quiz time. The cudgel is said to have belonged to the great King Yu. Anyone remember him? Correct, the guy who had the power to control water and ban the consumption of baijiu. A+ and a gold star for all our subscribers who got that one right. After that, Monkey returns home, but is soon dragged to hell, and learns that despite studying a method for immortality, the ledgers of life say it's time for him to die. Wukong is understandably pretty pissed off about this, and begins whooping ass, until they agree to take not only his, but also his monkey friends' names off the ledgers. By this point, the Jade Emperor and the Heavenly Kingdom were growing a little worried about how powerful and wild Wukong had become, and thus appointed him to the position of Keeper of the Heavenly Horses, in hopes that this responsibility would calm him down. He accepts the job, but learns that it doesn't mean that he's a real god, so he starts whooping ass again until Heaven agrees to name him the Great Sage Equaling Heaven. They also gave him a better job, which involved protecting the immortal peaches. Wukong starts his new job by eating all but one of the peaches that grant immortality, and is then enraged to find out that he wasn't invited to the Immortal Peach Banquet, despite the fact, he ate like 90% of the peaches already. So he crashes the party, drinks all the wine, eats all the food, as well as special immortality pills that further increase his level of invincibility. For his crimes, the Jade Emperor sent a huge army to capture him. He is eventually defeated and sentenced to death. But because he has such a high power level, conventional weapons have no effect on him. They decide to throw him in a mystical furnace, which instead of killing him, accidentally makes him even stronger. He starts whooping ass in heaven again, until Buddha himself shows up in his giant form and makes Wukong a bet. The bet is that if Wukong can jump out of the Buddha's palm, he will become the new ruler of heaven. Wukong takes the bet and leaps a massive distance before finally landing in front of 5 pillars, which he believed marked the edge of the universe. He writes his name on one pillar, pees on another, and then returns back to the Buddha. Once he returns, he sees that the 5 pillars were actually the Buddha's fingers, and that he failed the bet. Wukong was about to start whooping Buddha ass, but Buddha overturned his hand and crushed Wukong into the earth, imprisoning him in a mountain. About 500 years later, Xuanzang passed by Wukong on his way to fetch the Holy Scriptures from India, when Guanyin offers Wukong the opportunity to redeem himself by joining Xuanzang on his quest. Wukong agrees and is outfitted with a headband that Xuanzang can make crush his head whenever Wukong falls out of line. Together, they go about their journey recruiting other disciples and fighting demons, gods, and monsters. But it is here that I personally have the biggest gripe with Journey to the West. Throughout the beginning of the story, Wukong is practically unbeatable in almost every fight he's in, and it takes the power of Buddha to stop him. But the moment he joins the pilgrimage, he rarely, if ever, is able to defeat a demon on his own. Pretty much every time they encounter a baddie. They fight for a while, then Wukong retreats, asks for the assistance of a god, and then the god defeats the bad guy. Seriously, like 8 out of 10 times, the battles end this way. Why would they build him up to the point where only Buddha can defeat him? After that, pretty much everyone else beats him up. It makes no sense. It's just... Okay, so Wukong and his team complete the journey of retrieving the Holy Scriptures, achieves enlightenment, is granted Buddhahood, and is named the Victorious Fighting Buddha, despite, being inexplicably terrible at fighting for the vast majority of the story. But anyway, I digress. From the story of Journey to the West, Sun Wukong became the rock star of Chinese fiction. He's been portrayed and reimagined in thousands of different ways through every medium available. Hell, I even reworked his name for my online persona. There really is just something so special about the Monkey King that makes him such a timeless character. Maybe it's his quest to better himself, his mischievous ways, his ability to find his way out of any situation. Or maybe, just maybe, it's the fact that he gets completely depowered and becomes a chump unable to win a simple battle against even the Demon Bull King. I mean, seriously, what? So, thank you for watching another one of my videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and definitely subscribe. If you like this video, why not check out this one on the true story of Journey to the West, or this one on the guy with the biggest junk in Chinese history. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I'm Wukong, and goodbye.